If you want perfect looking makeup and skin, here is how I did it. Hello you guys, this is how I would have done my full makeup if I had everything in my makeup kit. This is pretty much my everyday makeup, and I just kind of amp up a couple products and do a little bit more layers for events like weddings. Okay, we're taking off the beauty filter now so you can see what my skin looks like. I do suffer from acne and I have more sensitive skin. I do go straight from skincare to makeup, some type of moisturizer, and then maybe a tinted SPF, but then I usually layer with hypochlorous acid. This is a really good one, this Magic Molecule one. This will actually change your life. Like hypochlorous acid, I use it every single day, probably every hour, head to toe. I literally keep all of my everyday makeup products in my little makeup bag. It's a little disorganized, but this is everything I use and it's all linked in LTK. If I'm doing SPF, I like the Kosas tinted one or this Elastin. If I want my base to be flawless, I'll do some of this Love Beam Perfector. This is the most gorgeous product. It's amazing. It's like this gorgeous like skin perfector that just gives this gorgeous bronze glow, but it also blends extremely well. It feels like a tinted moisturizer on the skin, and it doesn't have this crazy like shimmery finish. It just gives your skin a glow. My ideal makeup is a glowy, dewy look with probably a little bit more of a full coverage just because I do have all this scar. Like, look at the glow it gives your skin. My Ride or Die foundation is the House Labs one in shade 200. This stuff is incredible. I know this looks insane, but I swear by this. Don't knock it until you try it. You're going to blend your foundation with your fingers. By doing this, you're going to get the most even coverage ever. With a sponge or with a brush, it can actually kind of like mess up the coverage and you can kind of miss some spots, or some spots are too layered. This will give you perfect coverage every single time, and also kind of presses the product into your skin so it's not going to slide right off. There's no special way to do that, just like you're applying a moisturizer. And then I take my brush and I make sure all of that is blended out, and then also into the hairline. This is the best foundation brush, BK Beauty 101. Take the time on your base because this is where you want your base to be perfect, so then everything else can just kind of layer on top and you don't have to care so much about that. The base is the main focal point. If your base is perfect, your makeup will be perfect. Taking our sponge, we're just going to pick up any of the excess, and then once again just make sure everything's blended. This is an important step. This is when I'll go and wipe my eyebrows off to make sure there's no product. You could go back at this point and layer where you need extra coverage. I don't. I'll rather use a concealer. House Labs 24 on my blemishes on my face, but then I go in with a lighter shade underneath my eyes. I'm gonna let this dry down a little bit. My contour bronzer is one of these three products always. I'm gonna use shade 4 of the Dibs Desert Island Duo. I love these because they're duo sticks. They are the most incredible thing you can buy for your makeup. I've gotten every one of my friends on this, and here are the placements. Another thing I've gotten seriously all my friends to purchase is this brush right here. This is the Dibs Duo brush. It has one side for your powders and one side for your cream and your liquid. Blending all that up and out into the hairline. You never want to drag anything down. Can I just say for one second, I am so proud of this platform and I'm so thankful for each and every one of you. Quite a few blush options as well, but I'm going to use the House Labs one today. Glassy Pitaya, I think is how you say it. This is going to be my placement right here and right here, and then on the nose. Blend that with the same exact brush, and once again we're bringing everything up and like all the way out towards the eyebrow. I want everything to be more sun-kissed than I do like blush placement. Keep in mind we still have this concealer sitting. Like, how stunning. How stunning. All the cream products on her face, and then I clean that up with concealer. This is Tower 28 in shade DTLA, and then this is where we're replacing that. A must have for blending concealer, Hot and Flashy A506, and I'm gonna start on the perimeters and then work my way to the under eyes, and we're also going to hit all that concealer that we've been letting sit here. You want it to be like almost dried down where you're just going to blend out the edges, and you'd see how much more coverage I got. Start further out and do all of this before you go right underneath the eye. And I take my concealer all the way out towards the hairline. Whatever's left over goes on the lid. Like, look at how bright the under eyes are. Then we're going to take the sponge and just kind of blend all of the seams of everything together. I don't ever use my sponge to blend things out. I just use it to kind of mesh everything together after using the brushes. Full disclosure, I'm blush obsessed. So I do love these Lawless cream ones or the Makeup by Mario ones. I showed you some earlier as well. And at this point, now that we have our concealer, I'll just kind of add a tiny bit to the cheekbone right here just to get a little bit more of that pop of color. Perfect makeup is always done in thin, light layers. All of the creams are down, so we're doing Tower 28 translucent pressed powder. We want a layer of press before we go in with our loose powder. Taking that, and then I'm going right underneath the under eye right here, and you can see how brightening it is, but it's also just going to help to prevent any type of creasing or anything here. And if you see that you have creases on your under eye, you want to make sure to kind of blend those out with your finger before you go in and set them. And you can see it's just giving me that perfect base. I don't want just pressed powder, so I'm doing a really, really thin, light layer. Another talc-free powder find is this House Labs one. This is going to be our loose powder. Love traveling with this because it has a net. It's really easy. You press that in, whatever's on there, you're going to tap off the excess and then go underneath the eye. I don't typically bake, but I am going to bring the powder all the way up to the hairline like I did the concealer. Like, there's no beauty filter retouch anything on here, and you can see how smooth everything looks. And then we'll just hit the rest of those spots that we also used concealer very lightly. If I was going to a wedding or a big event or I need my makeup to last all day, I would do a layer of setting spray at this point. My all-time favorite bronzer, this Dibs baked bronzer. I cannot say enough good words about it. I post about this a million times a day. Shade Caramel Cappuccino is my favorite. This is Spice Chai. We're gonna use our Dibs brush again, swirl that around, tap off the excess, and we're going around the perimeter of our face. This powder will give you the most blurred, filtered look you've ever seen in your life. I promise you, it will change the game. Like, look at that. I have no highlight or anything on my face, and you can see this like blurred, filtered glow. The other Dibs little duo brush, I'm going to use that same bronzer I just used on our face. I'm going to do this as an eyeshadow all over the lid, just very haphazardly, and building that up until I like the color here. A little something like this, whatever's left over on the brush, we're going down the sides of the nose as a powdered nose contour. My favorite little hack lately is using this Valentino Eye to Cheek Shade 4 palette. It's almost like a little blush color, using the same brush, tapping off the excess, and then I'm just going to brighten this up a little bit. You can see this is more of like a blushy tone, so it's just going to give a little bit more of those red tones to mix with the brown of the bronzer. And I swear I've never gotten so many compliments on my eyeshadow than when I do these two. Another good option that's basically both of those together already is this. My two favorite powder blushes are Dibs in either Spice Girl or Pop Star, or this House Labs and Hibiscus Haze. What I love about the Dibs products is they don't have a glow or shimmer. They just have this like dual chrome blur. I'm gonna use Spice Girl today, tap off the excess, start higher up at the cheek, and then work our way towards the apple right here. Whatever's left over goes on the forehead, nose, and chin. Because I love blush, I'm doing a little bit of Hibiscus Haze. I want it to look like I just spent 3 hours at the beach. Now I go in for brows. This is the 24-hour brow setter by Benefit. It's just a clear eyebrow gel. You guys may think this is excessive, but I've seriously only taken like 10 minutes at this point. For highlight, I love these Glow Bounce highlighters from Dibs, but they're limited edition, so I'd also recommend the Tickle highlight from Benefit. I almost forgot, I just got this and I've actually been loving it. This is the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Afternoon Snack in Mo Honey. Just using a little bit of this on my finger, and I'm going at the tip of my nose right here. Whatever's left over, I run through the bridge. Also obsessed with these Lumily glow sticks. It's like a cream highlight, and I'll use that right at the eyebrow right here just to really accentuate the brow bone. See how it kind of like lifts? If you find that your powder highlight runs a lot, use this guy because it's a cream. It'll stay put. Same thing goes for eyeshadow. If I want some type of shimmer, I'll also use one of these highlights on top of it. Okay, I ended up adding that to the eyes and then I swatched them both here. Okay, this is now when I'm going to go in with a layer of setting spray. I do my setting sprays before my mascara. Milani Cosmetics is one of my favorites. Love this one. Some of my other favorite setting sprays include the Makeup by Mario one, all the Urban Decay ones. I love those. Professionals by Benefit, the Milk one. The base is like pretty much done. I'm going to curl the eyelashes here using the Shiseido eyelash curler. It's Elite. Like, look at how curled those are. These are all of my favorite mascara. Switch it up. We're going to do a Maybelline Sky High, but the true brown shade. I always prefer a brown, a burgundy, a plum mascara versus a black. I love that this is affordable, but it also works extremely well. It just really glides onto the lashes without feeling heavy, and you can really build this one up as well. I love these little lash separators from Amazon. They just really help to separate each and every lash. And then I always like to make sure my eyelashes are like kind of flicked out to the side here to draw the eye up. Like, how insane does that look? Like, here's what they look like. They actually look crazy. My bottom lashes, I really only ever use this. This is the Bad Gal Bang mascara by Benefit, but the plum shade. Plum will make your green and blue eyes look insane. I preach about this all the time. If you have green or blue eyes, please use a burgundy, a plum, a brown mascara. I'm going to set down the face one more time. If I need my makeup to last, this will guarantee be on my face. The One Size Until Dawn. This makes your makeup waterproof. So shake her up, but make sure you hold your breath when you spray this. And you also want to make sure to get your neck so that nothing transfers here. Okay, that's it. I just need to add a lip. I'm going to do Makeup Forever Wherever Walnut with the Lala. Overlining slightly here at the middle, and then a little notch here and a little notch here. And then these are my favorite lip glosses kind of ever, the Lawless ones. This is shade Velvet Daisy. I love the applicator. They're plumping, but they don't tingle or burn. They're just like cooling. Feels so incredible, and they make your lips look so juicy. Like, are you kidding me? All right, that's it. Love you.